All right, we're going to begin with some new strikes in the war with Iran that are shaking the oil and gas markets. A missile strike has heavily damaged the world's largest liquid natural gas terminal in Qatar. It followed an Israeli attack on a massive gas facility in Iran. This is sending oil prices to staggering new heights. As you can see here, they have skyrocketed since the war began. Here in the United States, gas prices are now getting closer to the $4 mark. After the attacks, President Trump issued warnings to both Israel and Iran.
Trump squaring off against both sides of this conflict, saying the U.S. has nothing to do with Israel's bombing of Iran's gas fields, demanding that Israel stop immediately and threatening to blow up Iran's gas fields if that country keeps attacking energy facilities in the Gulf.
Iran has hit your energy facilities because you hit theirs. Iran decided to retaliate because you killed 140, 150 little girls. This makes sense. You want them to stop. You were in negotiations with Iran twice. And during the negotiations, you bombed them. And with a straight face, you act like you're innocent. Now you're telling them to stop. It's like any human. Enough is enough. People will not continue to believe your lies. You must pay the price. As the Bible says, you shall reap what you sow.
We're learning more about that deadly strike on an Iranian school that killed at least 168 children and 14 teachers. Two sources briefed on the preliminary findings of an ongoing military investigation tell CNN the U.S. military accidentally hit the school. Tell CNN the U.S. military accidentally hit the school.
We have the best military equipment in the world, and we have the strongest military in the world. We have the best military equipment in the world, and we have the strongest military in the world.
All of this supporting the growing evidence that the U.S. was behind that deadly strike on the school that killed some 180 civilians, including those 168 school children.
Greetings from the east to north to south, and this wicked-ass West. The topic, the Trumpstein War has no conscience. The question is, why you think this nation can kill without a conscience? Let's get into it. I'm your host. I am the one.
Here's what I think. America's armed forces has become mercenaries. Now, I'm pretty sure most people won't like what I'm saying. Of course, I don't give a damn. When you can go over to another country and kill at will or kill on orders. Now, forget the fact that you have no business over there. When you go over to another nation's, when you go to another nation and you kill the people under orders. Okay, my government told me to come over here and kill you. Well, why? Well, Israel, they want you to take this land. You know, they say, well, God gave it to us, the so-called Jewish people. Give me a break. We all know who the true Jews are. We all know that. It's factual. But still, you can look at the hieroglyphics on a wall in Egypt. You can tell who the true Jews are. But nevertheless, I digress. I always wanted to say that. Here's my point. When you can kill at will under orders, and you seem to think you're righteous, well, I'm just following the orders of my government. Can you imagine going next door to your neighbor's house under orders and taking that person's life? Guess what? Because somebody told you to do it. You would be arrested, placed in handcuffs, and taken to jail. And you will serve, all depends what color you are, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Life without the possibility of parole. But your government tells you to go over to a land and take the lives of women, children, and men because they told you to. And with a straight face, you say, okay, I'm going to do it because I'm under orders. Now, here's the thing. If your nation is under attack, you're supposed to, every man is supposed to take up arms and fight for their country. You're fighting for your own personal survival and your family's survival and your nation's survival. But when you go over to another country and you take the lives of people because you was given orders by your wicked ass government and you think you're right, give me a break. One thing I will tell you, you will go and face the Most High God one of these days. You can't get around it. Now, I know a bunch of people say, well, I don't believe in God. That's fine. That don't negate the fact that the Most High God is the Most High God. And he said, you will reap what you have sown. So you are under orders to go into another nation that pose no threat to you or your nation simply because you want to. And you will face your Most High God and you'll say, well, I was under orders. The white man's law don't supersede the Most High's laws. Choose this day who you're going to serve. It is what it is. Because you will face the consequences of what you have done. Now they're talking about putting boots on the ground. For what? You're going to go fight these people for what? There's a person from Ohio, where I'm at. And the family have lost their son. For what? What is the reason behind that? Now, he was fighting for his country. But he lost his life for what? Israel? Let me stop. Let me play that clip. I'll be back.
Heartbreak is the only way to describe what Tech Sergeant Tyler Simmons' family is experiencing. The man who still loved adult night at Skate Zone and lit up the room with his personality and had his mother's dimples is gone.
You know, he had $1 million smile. When people see my cousin, they're gonna be like, that smile was gonna take him places, and it took him to his dream job.
Grief.
Tyler's gone. Oh, help me, Jesus.
The Tech Sergeant was one of 6 airmen who died Thursday night when their KC-135 Stratotanker crashed in western Iraq. Tyler's parents remember the exact time uniformed officers showed up at their door that night, 10 o'clock.
When he opened the door, he said, oh no. And I jumped up and ran in there, and they were lined up out on the porch. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Cheryl Simmons never wanted her son to join the military. Tyler was their only child, but she says there was no stopping him. He loved his country and his job with the 121st Air Refueling Wing at Rickenbacker.
You know, I guess I must be old as hell because this story makes me cry. Now, I know men ain't supposed to cry, but this is real sad for me. Now, here's the thing. You got a president that dodged the draft, but he's so quick to send other young men into battle where they lose their life. But under his vast amount of wealth that his family have, he had the privilege to avoid Vietnam. He didn't get drafted, but he's so quick to send young men into battle. He's a piece of garbage. And it breaks my heart to see the mother and the grandmother break down. And this is the reason why I truly love black women. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, I have my faults with black women, but they have to go through so much. And of course, women feel more than men. But to see them break down, it breaks my heart. Let me go to the final clip. And yeah, I'll be back.
This morning, one of the nation's top counterterrorism officials resigning over the president's war with Iran, saying Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. Joe Kent, director of the National Counterterrorism Center, writing, "I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran," and citing what he says is Israel's influence over the Trump administration, saying it is clear we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. Kent even accusing Israel of creating a misinformation campaign to deceive Trump into believing that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States, and that should he strike now, there was a clear path to swift victory. This was a lie. Some Republicans quick to call out Kent's comments about Israel as anti-Semitic.
When you blame the Israeli lobby for us going to war to Iran, I have a problem with that.
The president previously endorsed both of Kent's failed runs for Congress. He once called Kent a great American hero and nominated him for the role, standing by him despite previous controversies and his past associations with anti-Semites. But now Trump dismissing Kent's exit.
And I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security.
A lot of times you can't believe things until you really hear it for yourself. This guy said he's weak on security. Here's a man that would rather kill people in a war to take the spotlight off of him for his indiscretions. Who in their right mind want to mess around with little bitty girls unless they're sick as hell? They are so sick that instead of facing the consequences for what they have done, allegedly what they have done, you would rather get hundreds upon thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people killed to take the spotlight off of you. The Trumpstein War is going to end bad. It's going to end really, really bad. What type of devil have America elected as president? Thank you for watching. I'm your host,